Welcome, folks, to Reviewing Things with J-Dub. Here on this program, we will be reviewing WWE DVDs, TNA DVDs, ROH pay-per-views, pay-per-views, TNA pay-per-views, WWE pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown, not Superstars because that show is shit, Impact, the hour that I watch after I get done watching all my shows on NBC, products that are wrestling related, pretty much everything that is wrestling. Sometimes when I'll get on here and talk about what I think about wrestling currently. But tonight, we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I know I'm a couple days late, but I'm a couple days late because I've been busy with work and doing other stuff, VCW and stuff, you guys know that. Well, let's get right into it. The first match of the evening was Kofi Kingston versus Alberto Del Rio in a non-title match. This match was pretty good. This match was probably, I'll give it 3.5 stars. It was probably the second best match of the night, right after the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, for what happened in the Chamber and what happened after the Chamber, which will also involve Alberto Del Rio, but we'll get to that. Alberto Del Rio locked down the cross arm breaker, got the win via submission, and before this match they were talking about on all the spoiler sites having it champion versus champion, Alberto Del Rio. Maybe Kofi was going to come out. Alberto Del Rio was going to antagonize him to put the title on the line. That did not happen, and that would have been great because that would have made it the first ever World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion at the same time, the winner at WrestleMania, which would have gave it prestige, more prestige to Edge, and it would have made Alberto look even more legitimate than he already does. All right, let's get on to the next match. Backstage, Edge was interviewed by Todd Grisham. Randy Orton was standing backstage. That was about it in between. And then we got to the Elimination Chamber. It was Edge versus Rey Mysterio versus Kane versus Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre versus The Big Show. The first elimination came. Wade Barrett was eliminated first. Then it was Drew McIntyre, I believe. It was either Drew McIntyre or The Big Show. I forget specifically which one. But I have to say something about Drew McIntyre. He impressed the hell out of me in this match. I used to be a really, really big fan of Drew McIntyre until Creative started doing basically what they're doing to Sheamus right now. The HBK and Triple H. They're not enough to keep these guys going to main event level. They need to start showing us something. Sheamus hasn't really been able to do that in the recent weeks. Drew McIntyre hasn't really been able to do that in recent weeks. For fuck's sakes, he's had a Trent Barretta feud, and not even on SmackDown. Fucking, the biggest feud he's had was with Trent Barretta, and then this thing with Kelly Kelly I don't get it. Supposedly it was pitched by him and his wife. His wife gets fired, so then they go, oh, let's just use the next bimbo. Let's use Kelly Kelly. Because I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but that's the only thing that the WWE Divas are there for, are tits and ass. I'm just saying. But Drew McIntyre gets eliminated first, I believe, and it was either Drew McIntyre or Big Show, and then obviously the next one was eliminated. Then it was down to Kane, Rey Mysterio, and Edge. Kane was the next one gone, I believe, after a 619 spear combination, which not many people know this, but Edge and Rey Mysterio are actually former tag team champions together and former tag mates. They're so good in the ring together. They know what the other one's going to do, and that's why this match was probably the match of the night with 4 stars. It was amazing. It wasn't amazing. It was just really good. Rey Mysterio and Edge did a lot of good chain wrestling at the end. They did a lot of good back and forth. The type of wrestling that I like to see, the type of wrestling that I do. The indie style with a WWE twist to it. And it was just great. At the end, Edge wins after Rey Mysterio hits a 619, goes to the top rope. The announcers even said it. He should have gone for the little springboard frog splash, or springboard body splash, or whatever the fuck he calls it. But he goes to the top rope. I thought he was going to scale the chamber, which would have been awesome if he would have scaled the chamber and got the next move that happened. But he jumped off the top rope. Edge speared him in midair. That ended about, I would say, a good 4 or 5 minutes of the back and forth action between just Edge and Rey Mysterio. And that was the match of the night, not only for that last 4 or 5 minutes back and forth, because Drew McIntyre showed what he could be. Wade Barrett, in the 2 minutes that he was in the match, everyone took sick bumps in this match. Everyone gave sick bumps. It was just amazing. And then, after the match, this is what's getting me thinking. After the match, Edge is celebrating. Del Rio comes out of nowhere, hits the cross arm breaker, has it on for a good 15-20 seconds. Edge is screaming in pain, tapping out. Christian's music hits. Now, what I thought, and I told all my friends this, what everybody thought was going to happen, because Christian was seen backstage, Christian was going to be taking Dolph Ziggler's spot. Big Show took it instead, unfortunately. And what I thought was going to happen, Christian was going to win the World's Heavyweight Championship, and it would be Alberto Del Rio versus Christian, because that would be a much better feud, let's be honest, than Edge and Alberto Del Rio. But I digress. Christian comes down to the ring, helps out his buddy Edge, just breaks it up, and then leaves. And I personally think that it has to be a Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. Dolph Ziggler and Edge, they already have this thing going. I thought it would have been great if Edge lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Christian. Christian dropped it to Alberto Del Rio, making Alberto look like the main Hispanic face, making Alberto look like a main eventer. And Christian, he's never, even if he gets a belt, I was watching ODQ even today, and I agree with this. Even if he gets a belt, he's not going to hold it for long. Every person that's ever left WWE for TNA, when they come back, what are they? Look at R-Truth. He was actually getting somewhat of a push before he was released when he was with Road Dogg and his K-Quick, and then he comes back. He's had, a United States Championship title reign for a month, and then he lost it back to The Miz. He hasn't done anything. Look at anyone that's gone and come back. They don't do anything, unless they're... The only person I can see would be Kurt Angle, because he left on good terms and everything. But Christian comes out, breaks up the cross arm breaker, and it looks like we will have at least a triple threat at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. I would like to see a Fatal 4-Way involving Dolph, because I'm really high on Dolph, but I'll just discuss that in another video. Then the worst fucking Well, after this, Lawler is interviewed by Matt Striker, talks about how this is the worst week of his life, but he'd like to cap it off with the greatest win of his career. And then, in the ring, we have the worst fucking segment I've ever seen. It made me just want to go watch TNA. And TNA's segments are fucking horrible. Trish gets in the ring with Booker. If you smell what the Trish is cooking, sucker. And then Booker's like, oh, tell me she did it. That was the one funny part of it. That was the one funny part, is when Booker said that. Trish seemed really awkward on the mic. Then Trish seemed really, really awkward on the mic. And it just made me want to punch her in the face. I'm kidding. But I wouldn't actually punch her in the face, but it made me want to. And then a semi-decent good match. It's the best match you can get with Kozlov and Santino, because, let's face it, I've been noticing more and more Kozlov is a botch magnet, and Santino, he's a somewhat good wrestler, and he's funny as hell. I gotta give respect to him. But Heath, Slater, and Justin Gabriel defeat Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov. The win came when Heath Slater hit a reverse DDT and tagged in Gabriel. Gabriel hit the 450, and that was a good match. I just felt proud of that because I'm a big fan of the Core. So this is the end of part 1 because my dumbass just keeps rambling and I had to make it 2 parts. And yes, this is being recorded afterwards. The next videos in your subscription box, you should click on that home button up top that says YouTube, and then click on that second video, and I will make love to your sister. or you, whichever you prefer. Preferably, I prefer your sister, because most wrestling fans are dudes, and I don't roll that way on the weekdays, and it's Tuesday. So yeah, this is awkward. Um, bye.